I'm going to invite Dr. Sarkisian up to the podium, my dear colleague and friend who co-directs our current community engagement corps and is going to talk to us about our next speaker.
Thanks, Carol. It's really an honor to get to introduce Dr. Trejo, Dr. Laura Trejo. We're really lucky that she joined us today because Dr. Laura Trejo was just recently, just this last year in 21, appointed as the Executive Director for Aging and Community Services, a branch of Los Angeles County Department of Workforce Development, Aging and Community Services, also known as WEDACS. So this is a really, as many of you know, this is a historic time for the city and county of Los Angeles, and we're just so excited that Dr. Trejo is at the helm of this. So in this new role, she leads efforts to create this new department to proactively establish a coordinated strategy and service delivery system for the older adults and adults with disabilities across LA County. Dr. Trejo has over 36 years of experience serving the residents of the Los Angeles region, including serving as general manager of the City of Los Angeles Department of Aging. And many of you may not know that she was the first district chief for countywide older adult mental health for Los Angeles County DMH. Her commitment to excellence has earned her extensive national recognition in program innovation. She has too many awards to list as an influential leader, but most recently, I just do want to mention that she just was given the Excellence in Leadership Award from the National Association of Area Agencies on Aging, which is now known as US Aging. She holds a doctorate in social work, master's level degrees in gerontology and public administration, and a graduate certificate in long-term care administration, all from USC, but don't worry. Despite her Trojan blood, she's a huge supporter of UCLA. She's been, in particular, a huge supporter of scholars, RCMAR CHIME scholars. She's one of our original CHIME CAB members and leader of that first CAB. She serves on the advisory board for our UCLA CTSI as well. She's helped literally dozens of CHIME scholars and co-authored numerous peer-reviewed publications in partnership. I personally consider myself extremely fortunate to have had the opportunity to work closely with Dr. Trejo for over 20 years now as my mentor, colleague, and friend. Thank you so much for being here, Laura.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Catherine, for that lovely and warm introduction. As I was saying, only a few people could get me to step on Bruin territory, and two of them are here today. Catherine and Carol, thank you for your leadership, for your friendship, for your mentorship over all these many years. You know, my gateway professor was Dr. Stephen Wallace. He was my partner out there in the community many, many, many years ago. And because of him, I was able to meet this incredible faculty here at UCLA and began the opportunity. I remember the year that Catherine came to my office and she said, you know, we're trying to do more work in communities that are underrepresented in applied research. Would you like to work with me? I was stunned that a real doctor came to my office. And we began this incredible partnership. And I'm so grateful, Catherine, for your leadership, for your support, and for your deep caring of all of our communities that especially need our support and our advocacy. So I'm delighted to be here to share with you about my new adventure. A few years ago, Los Angeles declared as an age-friendly region, and we began a process of trying to figure out how we would make the Los Angeles region the best place to grow old in the world. Kind of a reachable goal in a lifetime, one hopes. But, you know, it's LA County, 4,000 square miles, 11 million residents, 90 languages spoken. So it's a little higher level of difficulty, but very exciting. So I began to work with the mayor and the board of supervisors. We created a motion that called for the evaluation of whether or not Los Angeles needed an independent Department of Aging. And the answer was yes. It's warranted given the 2 million older adult residents that live in our community. So there the adventure began, and on December 1st, I accepted the responsibility of creating this new agency. This is just I've already shared with you, but LA is a big place. One of the most complicated parts for older people in particular is that we have 2 federally designated area agencies on aging. Nowhere else in the country do you have 2 departments of aging kind of stepping all over each other to try to figure out what they're supposed to do on behalf of older people. But, one of the good things is that Los Angeles for many, many years has had a real understanding of the importance of coordination and seamlessness. So we've been working together very effectively. Our age-friendly work really brought in, and I will share a slide in a minute, that will show you, we began to bring the entire, directory of departments within the city and county together to really think intentionally about what the aging of the population was going to do to their business models, their interventions in the community. So as you can see, the county alone has 37 individual departments, about to launch 4 new ones July 1. So that'll become almost 40. That creates a lot of silos and a lot of coordination issues. This is just to give you a very kind of high overview of the population and how it's aging in LA County. 1 out of 4 older adults in California live in LA County. That means that we are the bellwether, not only for California, but for the nation in terms of older adults. We also have a very high number of adults experiencing disabilities, and there is a nexus between older adults and adults with disabilities, because about 40%, as you can see, 41% of older adults experience some kind of disability. So that's why you have this new department emerging with the 2 priority areas. And so we're going to try to develop that emphasis. It does not exist right now in LA County. This is just to give you a very high overview of our programs. Our new department is emerging, so this is only what it is today. It will actually be changing even as of July 1. But we are the department that houses adult protective services. Those are the programs designed for persons at risk. They're the people that go to the house, knock on the door, and do the investigation as to whether or not an adult is safe or any intervention is required to assist them. We also have some really unique programs. For example, LA Found is a GPS tracking bracelet that is provided to families that have a person that may have a dementia or autism, and it has a high risk of wandering. The good news is that, for the first time in LA County, we are able to quickly recover a person if they wonder if they're on the bracelet. So we're still looking at the emerging technologies that will make those retrievals successful as much as possible. Within our area agency on aging, we have a host of programs. The most significant and the one you've probably heard of for the last 2 years is our meals program, because when we shut down Los Angeles, everybody called us if they were over 60. And I'm not kidding, 4,000 calls a day in my office alone. Needed 160 people to answer the phone in real time. That was the city. The county was getting 10,000 calls a day. And so between us, we were a little overwhelmed for a few months, trying to figure out how to support older adults who literally could not leave their homes for their personal safety, and grew our nutrition programs from probably about 10,000 to almost 50,000 in about 40 days. So that's a little bit jarring, but very exciting that we were able to provide those level of supports and services to our community. We also have other programs like legal services for older adults who are low income. We have programs related to housing, to helping older adults like to rehab existing housing so that they can stay there longer. We provide a wide array of supportive services like case management, transportation. You think about it, we probably have one of them. One of our really critical programs during the pandemic was our long-term care ombudsman. That is the program that advocates for people that live in nursing homes. Remember, the CDC closed all the nursing homes. So if their families couldn't go in,
Hello.
who was supposed to?
Hello?
So, yes. So part of our ombudsmen became literally the ground crew that was trying to figure out how safe older adults were in nursing homes. As you could imagine, the panic that was ongoing in our communities, they became an actual connection. I can tell you at one time, I know they sent out 80,000 postcards to every nursing home resident in LA County just to tell them we're out here and we're paying attention to make sure you're safe. So that's the kinds of things that we do at the Department of Aging. We're excited to think about how will we integrate our community better. We have 2 commissions, so if any of you are interested in civic participation, please keep these in mind. We have an older adults commission and we have a commission on disabilities. They go through the board offices, so if you're interested, let me know, and we will make sure that you have an opportunity to be considered. As I mentioned before, in 2016, we launched Purposeful Aging Los Angeles, which was our age-friendly initiative. The first time LA County did something as a region. So we needed to engage the mayor, the 15 members of the city council, and the 5 sitting members of the board of supervisors. And that was my job for about 2.5 years, to go and knock on everybody's door and convince them why this was a good idea. The initiative itself looks at 8 livability domains. I can tell you several UCLA scholars worked with me on creating our needs assessment. And so if you go online to Purposeful Aging LA, you will find our report, our action plan, and you will see the incredible work that our community and partnership with our academic partners resulted in. We look at everything that we do in this initiative through 4 different domains. We look not only at age, but we also look at things: are they dementia friendly? Are they accessible to people with various levels of abilities? Are they inclusive? So everything that we do, every recommendation, every program, every policy has to kind of answer those questions in advance. And I'll tell you why we put them in there, because this could have been just about age. That's what age-friendly initiatives are about. But we didn't want to have to do this work over and over and over again. We thought, if we're going to do it, why don't we just put it through that process and question ourselves? And it's very challenging to do that when you're working in groups, but I think it's incredibly worthwhile, and I'm very proud of the outcomes that we've seen over the last several years. We actually just went for our 2nd designation, so it's really excited that both the city and county want to continue to do this work. These are just some of the departments that have been working with me for the last 5 years. As you can see, it's a wide array of departments, and the level of interest that we received when we were developing our action plan, I had never seen so many people literally demand to be included in a recommendation of action as I had experienced through this process. I actually had department heads calling and begging me and trying to justify why they needed to be in the recommendation. And I was like, I will put you there just because you called. But there was a sense of excitement and also a sense of commitment that they could make a difference. So that was really reassuring and exciting to me, because it meant that we were not going to have to force any leaders to do the right thing, because they were already wanting to do it. This is just to give you kind of what's happening as a landscape in Los Angeles right now that makes the work very exciting. One is our continuing work with our age-friendly initiative, Purposeful Aging. We're also been developing a partnership with the independent living centers. Those are the centers designed to work with adults with disability. And starting in July, we will be working on a regional aging and disability resource connection, which will bring all 6 independent living centers and the 2 area agencies as one collaborative approach to working with the community. So that's very exciting. We also have the Los Angeles Alliance for Community Health and Aging. That is a partnership that we have with public health. We have over 80 stakeholders that work with us in trying to improve the health of older adults, bringing aging and health and public health to the table on behalf of clients, and really looking at impact and how do we measure the impact of good health on the community by working with our academic partners, both at UCLA and at USC. So that's very exciting. We also have been working with Dr. Tony Kuo at Public Health to implement the Healthy Brain Initiative for LA County. That was really because I walked over to his boss's office one day, because the building was next to mine, and I asked Dr. Ferrer before the pandemic, I said, you know, there's all these grants that are coming up to really look and position Los Angeles as a premier place that is working on dementia services and supports. And she was like, just let them know that that's what you want to do and we'll do it. And I was like, well, no, I kind of need you to do it. And she did. And, you know, we were able to secure 2 very wonderful grants, one from the state and one from the CDC. And it's such exciting work to really have a focus in Los Angeles that's looking at how will we create this community to really be supportive of persons developing Alzheimer's. One of their latest statistics showed that Alzheimer's is now the 2nd leading cause of death in Los Angeles County. When you think about that, that's very, very difficult to do. But it tells you that we also have an aging population. So to me, this is one of the premier areas that we have to be involved in as policy makers because it's affecting so many people in our communities. We've also entered into a partnership with Alzheimer's Los Angeles because we wanted to do a macro level intervention to allow all of us to be involved in becoming more dementia friendly. And so if any of you want to become a dementia friend, reach out. And Alzheimer's Los Angeles is our partner in helping that to occur. You know, one of the really exciting things that's occurring as a result of the work that we've been doing regionally is that for the first time in our history in Los Angeles, we're going to develop a one area plan. Those are the strategic plans that are mandated for both area agencies to develop programs for older adults. In the past, the city did their own plan, the county did its own. Neither one of them had to talk to each other. We decided that that was not a good way of moving forward. And so for the next area plan, which starts in July 1, it will be for the first time, it will be shared. So we're really excited about that. These are some other initiatives that I just wanted to briefly make you aware of because they have some, I think, incredible implications for scholars. Los Angeles County is engaging in a social connectivity initiative that is going to include everybody in the county in terms of really addressing how do we focus our interventions in the community across the lifespan in terms of social isolation. As we all learned during the pandemic, social isolation did not just impact older adults, it also severely impacted youth. And so the county has stepped forward and said, you know, we have a wide array of supportive services in the community that could actually be helpful in creating more robust communities in the future. And so the work is about to begin in that area. So if any of you are particularly interested, please reach out. I will be working with all the departments leading this work for LA County. The county has also, as part of its call for social justice and equity in everything that we do, has launched a prevention task force that's really looking at, again, the entire array of the $38 billion in community services the county oversees to look at how will we deliver upstream interventions that address the social determinants of health and improve the overall health and well-being of our communities by reducing racial disparities. That is literally being formed as we speak. So again, if any of you are interested, let me know and I'll make sure that we provide you information about how to be engaged. I think this is going to be one of those things that will set Los Angeles apart from everyone else. This is going to be incredibly important work. We also have a work group, if you're interested in pandemic recovery and response, that is currently just launched. I think they've had one whole meeting that's looking at the entire impact of our pandemic response and recovery in the context of immunocompromised individuals in our community. So again, if any of you are particularly interested in that, let me know. Two very exciting things that are changing in our world of the work that we do is that for the first time in many, many years, the state legislature has changed the definition of dependent and older adults for adult protective services. They've actually added 60 to 64-year-olds to the service definition, which for us is very important because that's one of the biggest parts of the older adult population. But what that means is that we were actually going to be reevaluating, redesigning the entire adult protective services program in Los Angeles County. So again, very exciting opportunity to look at issues of dependency, issues of risk among this population. Our Home Safe program, I can tell you I was there in the room when we launched a pilot that nobody ever thought would do much with it. I always love that when that happens, you know, where you're the only one going, we need to do this, we need to do this, and everybody's just, yeah, maybe next time. And you say, no, we really have to do it now. The good news is that we went from a $2 million budget, now we're about $26 million, effective July 1, so we're kind of excited. It's really to look at prevention and early intervention opportunities for people that are at risk or are homeless. So again, we are going to be redesigning and inventing programs that are meaningful to address the unique needs of the growing crisis of homeless older adults in our community. So again, very exciting opportunity that I'm walking into. Mother said timing was everything. She was right. So just to give you Our deadline on July 20th, we're actually having our formal launch. Our department goes live July 1, and it will be the Los Angeles County Aging and Disabilities Department. We don't have emails yet or anything like that. They're all in the mail, somebody told me. But we're really excited. We look forward to our continuing partnership with all of you. As I was sharing with, I was whispering in Catherine's ear, I said, I just got approval to hire a data scientist because I believe that our ability to demonstrate our impact to the community who are our taxpayers and our bosses is a critical, important step that we have to do and really own as leaders in this field. So I'm really excited to see how we will do that. And I look forward to working with all of you to create this new department, to create these new opportunities in our community, and really to, I think, re-envision how we deliver services and supports in our community. So thank you for the opportunity to share with you about a wonderful new thing happening in Los Angeles, and I look forward to continuing working with you. Thank you. Did you want questions?
Thanks so much, Laura, for that introduction, and also for your welcoming spirit in terms of scholars and faculty evaluating some of these really innovative and groundbreaking initiatives, and your amazing ability to seem to garner resources for the most needy older adults among us. So you are a true role model, and every time I hear you speak, it reminds me about why when I spoke to Loretta Jones and we were setting up the first RCMAR and we wanted to have what I first called a community advisory board, and she corrected me and said we better call it a community action board if she was going to be at the helm. And she said, you know, I can't do this without my friend Laura. And so, you know, the two of you as the original co-chairs of our first community action board really set us on the right course. So thank you so much.